All right, all right, all right. I watched it. Jesus, I'm still sick. But yeah, I watched it. I watched what's it called? I think it's just called Masters of the Universe. The new one just came out. Not just like it's when did that movie come out? Came out uh give me the release date, dude. June 5th, so it came out yesterday. It's June 6th. Came out yesterday. I just watched it. I'd say about like maybe an hour, half an hour ago, something like that. Because I did eat too. So like an hour ago I watched it. And I would say, is this movie worth watching? Is it fun? Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I would say if you go to the theater, it's gonna be really boring. Oh my god, sorry, I'm so congested. But yeah, if you go to the theater, it's gonna be really boring. Because it's more boring than anything. Like it's got a lot of boring parts in it. And I will spoil it at the like I will tell you when, but not now. But it does have a lot of like the action scenes are not perfect, but they're good. Like whenever they're talking, it's a bad movie. I feel like it had a really good moment. So like I don't know. I think it's like the first half hour innings. I think it's a 2 hour movie, 2 hours 17 minutes, something like that. So like the first half hour is really good, but then after you get to all the scenes where they're like, there's a scene where he not he but like they start flying. There's that scene. After it gets there, it's like it's done. It gets really boring and bad. But I will tell you this, not spoiler. Skeletor is the best part of this movie, and I know that Jared Leto is box office poison, but he did a really good job, and I think that they did Skeletor really well. But he's like the only one that they did well. Everyone else is it's kind of iffy. All right, I'll get into spoilers now. I would say first, let me give a rating. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. All right, now I'm gonna get into spoilers. So in the beginning, it starts off when you have it doesn't actually start off with like this part, but the Skeletor's army they infiltrate, right? And Idris Elba is like going ham on this one guy at He-Man or Adam, my bad. They call him Adam most in the movie. He doesn't get the name He-Man until the very last second, but cliche. And then so Idris Elba, I didn't even know it was Idris Elba until after, but like, yeah, it's Idris Elba, and he's fighting this one guy that Adam calls him like Tear Jaw or something. It's really stupid. That's all. That's another point of this movie. It's really bad. He gives like the bad names to all the people because he doesn't know them. He said he was like 10. It's really weird. He called himself He-Man. That was anyway. So Idris Elba's fighting him, and they have this really cool fight scene. It's like a hallway fight scene, and it's really good. And then Idris Elba like eventually loses, and then his daughter's like, no, and he's like, I have failed. And I think I looked away from the movie. My dad said he like took her in his arms and jumped out the window or something like that. I must have blinked or something, and I must have missed it. Low power mode, I guess. And then he like fast forward and excuse me, my bad. Not fast forward. He like kind of fast forward, but you go into Adam and they're like rushing him to get to the sword so that way he can bring it to safety. And then the queen is like, wait, which is Adam's mom. He's like, wait, my hometown to be safe. They will never get him there. So takes a sword. She creates like a portal or something. They fight through the portal. Just him and the sword. And by this point, it's presumed that Skeletor killed his mom and dad, right? The king and queen. And the goddess just kind of like puts this big shield up, and that's the last you see of her. Big spoilers. All of this. As I said a while ago. So if you're still watching and you want to watch the movie, I mean, honestly, don't. There's probably better movies out there, but it's fine. And then so he like lets go of the sword, so then they transport to different places. And then fast forward, he's all grown up now. He's got a job at HR, and it's really weird. Yeah, that part's fun. It's not bad yet. And then he go through his normal life up until the dude texts him. Yeah, he's like in a meeting with his boss, and the dude texts him. He's like, "I got your sword, but it's gonna cost $300 for this information." And so he pays the dude $300. Like they don't show it, but we just presume that he paid him $300. And then he goes to like this store, and it's like a Comic Con, not a Comic Con, but like a comic book store. Imagine like the store in The Simpsons. It's kind of like that. And then there's a big statue of this dude who looks like He-Man. And they called him Torak. And honestly, kind of looks like Conan, with the Rock. But yeah, the dude looks like Conan, but he's got the He-Man sword. And so he's pulling the sword out, and he's trying to pull the sword out. And everyone, and the store owner, not the store owner, but like I think she's like the cashier, and she's like, the sword's not for sale. And he's like, I'm not buying it. He said, don't worry, it's mine. And he eventually does take the sword off the the statue, and he's like, ah, and he says the words. He's like, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. And then nothing happens. So then he like runs off with the sword. I thought it was pretty funny. When you watch it, it's really funny. He does create, like, not create, but he does commit a few crimes. Like he just stole, and then after that, he hits a mailbox. Federal crimes. Oh my god, but my nose. Oh my god. Yeah, and then eventually he gets home and he's telling his roommate, and the roommate's like, "Oh my god, like you told her everything on the date?" And he's like, "Is that the sword?" And he's like, "Yeah." A whole bunch of stuff happens, and then eventually, like the next day, he just like falls asleep. It's just a habit. He's got like weird narcolepsy, where like he gets to the room, and as soon as he's about to do something, he falls asleep. They did the last time when he was like reminiscing on the pieces of paper, and then he just fell asleep. This dude's got like some wicked narcolepsy. Oh my god, my nose. It's like I feel so bad. It's just my nose. Like I feel good. It's just like anyway. And then the police like take him into custody, him and the sword, and then the big Sasquatch appears, like the big beast or whatever. I think what's his name? It's his name is something. It's like Beast Man or something. Sasquatch Man. I don't remember what it was. It was something along those lines. And then they had this weird like thing where the beast is chasing him, jumping all the cars on the highway. Everyone's running, and he takes the sword, he busts the window of the cop car, and he's out of there. And then he gets like cornered. I honestly I was in low power mode for this point. I was like barely paying attention. I don't blame me. It's boring. And then I forget what her name was. The dude's childhood friend comes in, and then she saves him, hits him with the big stick, and she's like, bah, bah, bah. And the Sasquatch man is like, ah, owie, that hurt. And then she's like, oh my god, is that you, Adam? The little wimpy kid? The little, I don't know what to call him. Yeah, it was like, that guy. He's like, yeah. He's like, wait, it's you? She's like, yeah. And they're like, oh my god. And then the beast just like tackles her, and it's like, oh my god. So he like clenches the sword, like clenching his pearls, and basically they run away from the monster, and they get to the ship. And then he turns around, he's like, I told you all it was real. He goes, not you people in specific, but you people, like the people who told me, yeah, he does that for a while. He does that a lot in this movie. It's weird. The dialogue is really bad. Other than the dialogue, like the actions, it's fun, but that's it. Yeah, and then I'm just starting to draw a blank. Yeah, and so they like do this weird hyperdrive, and then they get there back to his like home planet, and then she showed him all that it was destroyed, which I think was stupid. Cause she knew. She says this afterwards, where it's like, yeah, we shouldn't be here in the open air for too long. And they've been there for like a good minute, showing him that his hometown's been destroyed, which I big pluie. And eventually someone sees him, and then they go back to like their home base, and it's like, oh my god, he's got the sword, yeah. And my favorite thing about this movie, besides Skeletor, is the characters are really good. Like they get like he gives the one dude the name. He's got like one metal hand. It's his right hand. It's just metal right, a metal hand. Bro, my nose, I got mucus and it's making it really hard to talk. Yeah, but he calls him Fisto. He says because you like to fist people, and it's funny. And then the other dude, he called him Mecha Neck because his neck can just like extend, and it's really weird. And then Ram Man. So he basically is just a ram, a battle ram. That's all he does. I did show a flashback when he was a kid. He drew pictures of like they're like, all right, draw pictures of like your favorite hero, and his favorite hero was Ram Man, and all the kids laughed at him. Little tiny family guy cutaway or whatever. And then and then they like invade them, and then like the Skeletor army finds out where their base is. They invade them. They take them. Uh, I'm actually starting to draw a real blank on this. I'm starting to forget how this movie happened. I'm gonna just be honest. So I remember. So it's like they're at this bridge part, and then he's like, he has a sword. He's trying to talk to him. It's a tear jaw, whatever you called him. The dude who beat up Idris Elba. It's like tear jaw, and then he picks up the sword. It's all on his back. He tries to talk to him. It doesn't work. Whoop de doo. He takes out the sword, and he's like, he says the words. He's like, the power of Grayskull. I have the power, and then he becomes He-Man. He gets the armor. He rips off all of his clothes. Basically naked, just a loincloth, and man, the manliest man I can think of. And then oh my god, yeah, and then he starts fighting Terrorjaw. I'm pretty sure he wins. He takes off his arm. He's like and he shoots all of his friends with it. So he kills Terrorjaw, I think, and then he kills all of them. And then they get on the ship. They go away, and I think this is the start of that really bad ship part. I don't even remember it. I really don't. Nor do I want to. I can't breathe. It's like every time I breathe out my nose, more stuff just keeps blocking it. Even like the cough, like you have the cough, and then it like starts breathing with you. Oh my god, it's awful. But anyway, yeah, I don't remember much about the ship part, but they have like these really weird ships with like saws built into them, and then or like built like the ship is the saw. It's really weird. Yeah, and then they have the big ship fight, and it's like, oh, and then they do a crash landing, and they do more talking. God, it was such a slog to get through. It was awful. Like midway through the movie now at this point, and then they just do talking, and then the girl is like, "Oh my God, my dad's such a bum. He's broke and he's poor. God, I hate that guy." And he's like, "I'm right here." Yeah, that's another thing. Idris Elba is the dad. Oh my God, yeah, Idris Elba is the dad, and he's the warrior. He's like the king's right hand warrior man, and he's really good at fighting. He does everything, but they don't make him do anything. Besides the beginning, he doesn't do anything for like the entire. He keeps asking, "Yo, can I fly the plane? Because I have experience flying the plane." And his daughter's like, "Shut up, Dad. Oh my gosh, keep talking to me, and I'm trying to fly the ship." He's like, "Okay, my bad." He's like, "I'll go man the guns." And she's like, "No, Dad. Gosh, shut up." And then she tells He-Man or Adam to go man the guns, and he's just sitting there. They make him sit there and pout in the back seat of a big spacecraft. Really cool, really cool. Yeah, but he doesn't do anything. And then I think at the end he does a thing where like so they have the big robot and the big robot's like the power of 20 men, like it's a battle bot season 4 battle pass, whatever he calls it. And then it just helped actually reprogram it because it tried to kill him. So he made it like a maid so it doesn't have weapons. It's just a really strong robot. And then he puts like this, like the scene in Big Hero 6 when he puts like the chip in his back or in his chest and it makes him go battle mode. That's kind of what it was. He puts like this weird thing in his back and the robot gets weapons. It's really awesome. I guess. Doesn't really do anything with it, but yeah, the robot doesn't really do anything either besides break him out of like the initial jail cell. And then where am I at? Yeah, just I don't even remember where I'm at. I don't even remember where this part of the movie is at. I've just been jumping around. I'm gonna jump out to like the last fight because I think the last fight was pretty fun. So the beginning is like good, the middle is awful, terrible, and then the ending is okay. I put it like that. It was okay. It was fun. It was a nice watch. Wasn't like awful like X-Men: The Dark Phoenix, which I watched the day before. What yesterday? I watched that yesterday, and it is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. That is definitively the worst movie I've ever seen. But anyway, back to He-Man, Masters of the Universe. At the end, he has the big fight with Skeletor. It's him and I don't remember what her name was. It's the childhood friend girl, and it's the girl from Riverdale. And one thing I noticed about her is they have more time on her butt than her face. Never a bad thing. It's not like huge though. It's not like I'm looking at Megan Thee Stallion. It's just butt. It's like whoa, butt. But yeah, it's him and her against Skeletor and his right hand mage woman, whoever that is. So then he fights Skeletor, and then she fights the mage. They show their fight first, but they swing like 4 times, and then they say, "Yeah, we don't care about these women." And they show He-Man, and he's fighting Skeletor, and that fight goes on for probably the rest of the movie. And it's really cool. So he does the thing where he like grabs on his head, and he's like, "Let me see your memories." And then the first one is him. It's like Skeletor working out, and it's really funny. They did Skeletor really well in this movie. Skeletor is the best part of this movie by far. It's not close. And then it's like him and HR, and he's like, "What is this?" And it was a pretty fun fight. And then it's really weird, and he's like, "No, because I have the power." I was nothing before this final fight. Where was it? It was like somewhere at the end of that middle part. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, wait. This is at the end. This is at the end. I'm right. So he like breaks the sword. Skeletor breaks the sword right before he reaches into his mind. And then the one time he reaches into his mind, he sees the goddess, and the goddess is like, "What are the words?" And he's like, "To the power of Grayskull, the Grayskull, I have the power." And she's like, "Yes, that's right. You have the power, not the sword." So then he gets up. He goes back to reality, and he gets up and he grabs the hilts of the sword out of his chest, and he's like, "Rah!" And he rebuilds the sword with his magical He-Man powers. And then he probably swings it about, I want to say 3 times, right at Skeletor. He goes swing, 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 and then the sword honestly just disappears. It just disappears. And then he starts using his hands like a Jet Li movie. They go into slow motion. They go boom, 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 boom. Every punch is slow motion, and it does a lot of impact. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then he wins, and he's like ah. And then the ending. No one cares about the ending. I don't care about the ending. I want to say something though. Uh, Skeletor doesn't have the weird high pitched voice that he had, which isn't a bad thing. I didn't think like the is dark and ominous. I didn't think that it was bad. It just it's not it's not as funny. It would just been weird if they'd had the high pitched voice. So I'm actually kind of glad that they went for the dark and ominous. It works. It works. But yeah, I'd say if you want to have fun, you could watch it. I'm not gonna say not to, because it's not like a bad movie, but it's not great. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. All right, that's it.